All right, let's dive straight into this explainer. I am bringing maximum energy today because we are mapping out your exact 2-year roadmap to conquering NEET UG 2027 and finally securing that white coat you've been dreaming of. We're not just throwing around vague ideas here. We're looking at the hard data, the precise exam trends, and the proven strategies that are actually going to get you across that finish line.
Here is our agenda. We'll quickly cover the gateway to medicine, outline the NEET 2027 exam blueprint, break down a high-yield study roadmap, give you our expert prep and book guide, discuss budget and seat strategy, and wrap up with exam success and final tips. Let's get right into it.
Starting off with Section 1, the gateway to medicine.
Look, we all know the end goal, right? The intense clinical focus, giving life-saving treatments, working with high-tech medical equipment, and eventually performing complex surgeries. Well, this pen and paper exam is your singular, golden gateway to programs like MBBS, BDS, AYUSH, and BSc nursing all across India. You are competing in a nationwide selection process that demands absolute, uncompromising excellence. And to get there, here's your exact timeline. You need to gear up for registrations opening in February 2027. That's followed by a super brief correction window in March, all leading up to the ultimate showdown in early May 2027. Knowing the schedule right now lets you perfectly reverse engineer your entire 2-year strategic plan.
Moving on to Section 2, the NEET 2027 exam blueprint.
Now, what's really fascinating here is how the NTA has shifted the battleground. For eligibility, the big news is there's absolutely no upper age or attempt limit anymore. You just need to be 17 by December 31st of the exam year, score at least 50% in your PCB subjects if you're in the general category, and most importantly, you must strictly master that combined Class 11 and 12 physics, chemistry, and biology syllabus.
And here is the real kicker, 180. You're going to face exactly 180 compulsory questions with 0 internal choices. So those old days of having optional questions, totally gone. You have 180 questions, 180 minutes, and no safety net. It creates this intense time pressure where pinpoint accuracy absolutely destroys blind speed.
Because as the exam trend analysis clearly shows us, you have to stop memorizing and start applying. The days of simple rote learning are completely over. The NTA is now literally pulling tricky questions from introductory paragraphs, tiny footnotes, and random examples. You have to deeply apply these concepts to complex, multi-layered problems if you want to survive this paper.
Okay, Section 3, the high-yield study roadmap.
You can't just study hard for this. You have to study smart. The absolute right strategy is sticking to the 90% NCERT rule line by line along with targeted previous year questions. The fatal, totally wrong strategy? Hoarding multiple high-level JEE reference books and completely ignoring your Class 11 base. If you're reading heavy reference material, you are honestly just wasting precious time.
Let's talk biology, which is literally half your score. Mastering these specific powerhouse chapters from Class 11 and 12 gives you a massive immediate return on investment. Look at biotechnology principles and abs, pulling in an expected 7 to 10 questions. Molecular basis of inheritance brings in 6 to 9. If you dominate these chapters early, you build a totally unstoppable foundation.
Meanwhile, physics is your primary rank decider. Calculation-heavy chapters like current electricity, with 3 to 5 expected questions, will literally make or break your top-tier placement. In chemistry, organic chapters like aldehydes and ketones, alongside physical chemistry numericals and equilibrium and kinetics, are your high-scoring safety nets. You've got to target your energy exactly where the data tells you the points are.
Section 4, expert prep and book guide.
Having a great roadmap is pretty much useless without the right tools in your arsenal. So here is your essential expert curated book list. First rule, do not buy more than 3 books per subject. For biology, NCERT is absolute king. Read it 5 or 6 times, and supplement it with Truman's or MTG objective. For physics, pair NCERT with H.C. Verma to build intuition and D.C. Pandey for practice. For chem, NCERT plus N. Avasti and M.S. Chauhan. And seriously, avoid overly complex books like J.D. Lee or Iridov. Keep it simple and targeted.
You also need to structure your 2 years into clear phases. Phase 1, during Class 11, is your first deep NCERT pass and basic MCQ practice. Phase 2, in Class 12, shifts to lightning-fast NCERT revisions. We're talking 30 minutes a chapter max, plus PYQs. And in those final months, it should only be NCERT, hammering the last 10 years of PYQs and taking full-length mock tests. No new material.
All right, Section 5, Budget and Seat Strategy.
Let's ground this massive academic effort in reality for a second. When you look at the National Medical Commission seat matrix, you can see exactly how fierce the competition is for those 150 to 250 seat blocks at top government and trust institutes. When you're studying late at night, I want you to picture yourself actually claiming one of those specific seats.
You've really got to understand the difference here. Government colleges have extremely high cutoffs, but offer much lower fees. Private and trust colleges have varied fee structures and management quotas. Figuring out this budget breakdown and academic reality with your parents early on is a game changer. It sharpens your focus and defines exactly what percentile you need to hit.
Finally, Section 6, Exam Success and Final Tips.
Let's lock in your actual execution tactics for that Sunday afternoon in May 2027. Your OMR rules are critical. First, do not follow old Section B strategies. Second, you absolutely must fill those bubbles alongside solving, not at the very end. This new format is unforgiving, and if you leave bubbling to the last 20 minutes, the anxiety will cause disastrous misfills. Make sure that OMR is complete before your final review.
And whatever you do, please avoid these fatal mistakes: lacking a structured daily timetable, skipping your chapter-wise mock tests, chasing speed over conceptual accuracy, and critically, neglecting your physical and mental health. You literally cannot outstudy burnout. This is a 2-year marathon, so you have to treat your body and mind accordingly.
So, the blueprint is right here in your hands. The syllabus is mapped and the strategy is proven. The only variable left is your own dedication. Are you ready to start your 2-year grind today, perfectly execute this roadmap, and finally claim your white coat?